Hello everyone. Today, we're going to dive deep into one of the most complex, haunting, and multi-layered relationships in Renegade Immortal, the story between Huan Mei, or more precisely Lu Mei, and Wang Lin. This is not just a relationship between two characters, it is a symbol of the price of cultivation, of choices, and of things that, once lost, can never be regained. If you've ever wondered why Huan Mei is actually Lu Mei, and why the grudge between her and Wang Lin runs so deep and quietly that it leaves readers unsettled, then today we're going to break down this entire story from its very roots, layer by layer, without missing any crucial detail. First, we need to understand who Lu Mei is. She is not a weak or dependent woman. On the contrary, Lu Mei represents the archetype of a prodigious female cultivator, exceptionally talented, strong-willed, and above all, someone who values absolute control over herself. In a world where the strong decide everything, people like her believe that as long as they are powerful enough, they need no one, and they do not need to be burdened by emotions. Because of that, Lu Mei was never someone who could easily fall in love, nor someone who would allow others to casually interfere with her fate. And that is exactly why the tragedy begins. The encounter between Lu Mei and Wang Lin was not a romantic destiny, but an accident. During a struggle for a rare opportunity, the two were forced into an extremely unusual situation where they had to dual cultivate in order to survive. The key point here is that this was not Lu Mei's choice. For someone as proud and self-controlled as her, being forced into such a situation was no different from having her autonomy stripped away. Even though Wang Lin was not entirely the initiator, he was still directly involved. And from that very moment, a seed of resentment was planted, not loud, not explosive, but quietly taking root deep within Lu Mei's soul. After that incident, Lu Mei was no longer the same person. This is the key to understanding why Huan Mei is Lu Mei. Huan Mei is not just another name, but a new state of existence, a version of Lu Mei transformed by obsession, pain, and unresolved emotions. The word, Huan, itself carries meaning, illusion, ambiguity, something that is hard to grasp, where truth and falsehood intertwine. It reflects her inner world perfectly, no longer pure hatred, yet unable to return to who she once was. Lu Mei still exists, but she is now veiled by a fog of emotions, forming Huan Mei, someone both familiar and completely foreign. What makes her relationship with Wang Lin so unique is that it is not built on hatred alone. If it were only hatred, the story would be much simpler. The problem is that an unbreakable connection exists between them. In the cultivation world, dual cultivation is not merely physical, it is a fusion of souls. This means that Lu Mei and Wang Lin share an incredibly deep karmic bond, one that cannot be erased by sheer willpower. That is why, even when Lu Mei wants to kill Wang Lin, she cannot bring herself to do it decisively. Even when she wants to forget him, she cannot. And even when she wants to hate him, deep down, it is not purely hatred. This is what makes her emotions so complex, to the point that even she cannot fully understand them. As for Wang Lin, many people see him as cold and emotionless, but that is not entirely true. Wang Lin is someone who understands the cost of weakness. After what happened with Lu Mei, it's not that he was unaware of the consequences, but he simply had no choice. In his world, if he stopped because of emotions, he would die. And if he died, then everything, including taking responsibility, would become meaningless. So he chose to keep moving forward. Not because he didn't care, but because he could not turn back. This choice widened the gap between them, turning a complex bond into a wound that would last for hundreds of years. Every time Huan Mei and Wang Lin meet again, it becomes a moment where readers can truly feel the quiet depth of their unresolved bond. They do not clash like enemies, nor embrace like lovers. Instead, there are long gazes and short exchanges filled with unspoken meaning. It is the feeling of two people who understand each other completely, yet cannot be together. Every reunion is like reopening an old wound, not violently bleeding, but aching slowly, endlessly, and never truly healing. At the core of everything lies obsession, or more precisely, fixation. Lu Mei is fixated on her past, on the loss of control, and on Wang Lin himself. Wang Lin, on the other hand, is fixated on his path of cultivation, on survival, and in some way, on Lu Mei as well. This fixation prevents them from letting go, but it is also what prevents them from ever being together. It is a paradox that perfectly represents the essence of Renegade Immortal, the more you try to hold on, the more impossible it becomes to attain. Perhaps the most painful part is that this relationship is never named. There is no confession of love, no apology, and no clear resolution. Everything exists only in what is left unsaid. And it is precisely those unspoken things that make the story heavier and more haunting than any dialogue ever could. This is not a beautiful love story, nor a clear-cut feud. It is something in between, a gray space where both of them are trapped. From a broader perspective, Huan Mei, Lu Mei represents the darker side of cultivation. She shows that the path to power does not only take time and effort, but can also take away who you once were. And her relationship with Wang Lin raises a question that likely has no answer. If everything could start over, would things turn out differently? But in the world of Renegade Immortal, the answer is almost certainly no. Because their circumstances, personalities, and choices had already shaped this path from the very beginning. In the end, Huan Mei is Lu Mei, but a Lu Mei transformed by the past. The depth of her unresolved bond with Wang Lin lies in its quiet persistence. It does not explode or clearly define itself, but instead lingers and seeps deeper over time. It is like a crack in the soul, not large enough to destroy everything at once, but deep enough to never disappear. This is not merely a story of love or hatred, but a story about choices, sacrifices, and things that are lost forever. And perhaps it is precisely this incompleteness that makes their relationship one of the most unforgettable parts of Renegade Immortal. And with that, the story between Huan Mei, Lu Mei and Wang Lin comes to a close in our hearts, not with a clear ending, but with a lingering sense of sorrow. Because sometimes, what stays with us the longest is not what is complete, but what is left unfinished. A relationship that cannot be named. A karmic bond that cannot be severed. And two people who understand each other completely, yet can never walk the same path. That is the true defiance in Renegade Immortal. Defying the heavens, defying fate, yet unable to defy one's own heart. If this story resonates with you, don't forget to like and subscribe to support the channel. And leave a comment below. Do you think, if they could start over, Huan Mei and Wang Lin would have a different ending? For now, goodbye, and see you in the next videos. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss the latest uploads.